Hello there, YouTube. It's your boy B3 back with another kicking, hiya, or should I say rider kicking action figure review. Because today we are looking at a tokusatsu figure from Marvel Legends. This is their Japanese Spider-Man. I'm kind of debating on what to call him in the video's title. I'm sure I'm going to put Japanese Spider-Man, but I think I'm also going to put Supaidaman. I saw some discourse on Twitter a while back where people were like, mad that fans call him Supaidaman, even though that's literally how he says his own name. And for some reason, I guess the way he pronounces his own name isn't, like, good enough for Western fans. So a lot of people call him Japanese Spider-Man, Toku Spider-Man, Tokusatsu Spider-Man, Toei Spider-Man. All of those are fine to say as well, as long as you know who you're talking about. And when you say Supaidaman, if people are familiar with the character, they'll know. But I pre-ordered this guy forever ago, and then never made a review of him, which is very typical of me. It's the same thing I did with my 73 Godzilla, as well as many other figures I've pre-ordered. I pre-order them, and instead of reviewing it as soon as it gets here, and being one of the first in line to review something, I just review things when I feel like it, because I'm a fool and an idiot. At least I reviewed Gorgo in a timely manner. But Spider-Man here is really cool. Mine is really stiff. I haven't messed with him that much since I got him. He's just been a nice display piece. But let's take a look at his articulation anyway. Full up on that head. Full down on that head. We got a nice side to side. Not really much of a wobble on his boyish little head. His arms... Oh, they do go up. As I said, mine's really tight. Ooh. Ah. Round. Round. Ugh, and a double bend. Got a rotation on each wrist, as well as forward and back on each wrist. Both hand sculpts. This puppy here is not sculpted on, so you can actually remove it if you want by removing his hand, which is interchangeable, and then just sliding it off. Easy peasy. So don't accidentally lose it when you're changing hands. Keep that in mind. Oop, let's see his back, which doesn't go terribly far backwards. Good ways forwards, not as much backwards. We've got a waist swivel, of course. I really wish this guy had that kind of lightning collection articulation, you know, where the crunch was down here and then it was cut up here. Oh well. This was a little before they started doing that with Marvel figures, I think, was when this guy came out. In and out on the leg. Once again, that could come out further too. Having some articulation trouble here. But it does do a good forward kick. But remember, the issue with Hasbro figures we have on this channel. They all have hard plastic bussies. We need soft rubber bussy covers like NECA and McFarlane make. Hasbro, come on, I know you can do it. It's Marvel, you can afford it for Marvel. This is an adult collectible figure, guys, come on. This hole is kind of unsightly, admittedly, but it also kind of looks almost like the spider has an open mouth of pinchers. And it's good for stands. That's what the hole is for stands. Or you could stick Spider-Man 2099's web cape in there. But yeah, no back because of the hard plastic bussy. Come on, I like my bussies soft. Anyway, you know I've gotten subscribers just because of that dumbass bit? We've got a swivel upon the thigh. A knee whose bend is double, and actually really nice. That's a really good bend. And we've got an ankle pivot, as well as up and down on the feeties. So, yeah, there are a couple places where I think articulation could be better. These could come out more. They could go back at all. This could go back further. But otherwise, the articulation is pretty good. It's just, it's Spider-Man, you know? And they could have given him the butterfly joints, I feel like. They didn't give him those. But it's Spider-Man. Give Spider-Man the goddamn butterfly joints. He's Spider-Man. They're kind of necessary for him. The most posability in any Marvel figure should be in a spider character because they're so flexible and shit, you know? But Articulation aside, the sculpt is actually pretty great. There's a lot of wrinkles in the suit, which you do often see on Marvel Legends, but I feel like this one went a little harder on them because they were sculpting it from a real suit. I mean, I never feel like I see that much on the ankles. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at this Spider-Man 2099. That's smooth as shit, bro. All that muscle definition from the comics, but this is a live-action suit, so you've got a bit more of a realistic body type, even though he is still incredibly fit. It works. And this head sculpt is really good. He has the thinner, angrier-looking eyes, a lot of nice wrinkles in it, ears popping. He looks good. Yeah, he's got that nice vintage spider. You even have, right there, Spider-Man on the wrist. Ah! Oh no! Yeah, so the sculpt is really good. You can see why mine is still stiff, because he looks really good on the shelf, but his posability has not been that of many of my other spider figures that I mess around with more. So, now let's get to articulation. First up, I'm just going to show him with Marvel characters. You ready for that? Let's slide him down here. First up, how about some other spiders? Here's a figure that I reviewed forever ago, but it is a Spider-Man figure I really love in my collection. You literally just saw it. It is the post-Secret Wars Spider-Man 2099. As you can see, they're like exactly the same height, even though he's a comic character and Supaidaman is a TV show character. Then we also have a deluxe figure and a lady in the Across the Spider-Verse Part 1. Cyborg Spider-Woman, who we recently reviewed, probably just a couple days ago, I think. Speaking of recent reviews, let's throw in some of my other favorite Marvel characters, Hulks. How about the beautiful Compound Hulk, who was our last review? Alright, he looks good with these bigger characters. Now for a lady that's still big enough to step on me, please, mommy, but smaller and a bit older, it is Red She-Hulk. Still a Hulk, but not as big. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. And to show him with a Build-A-Figure, this one is Hulk related again, because once again I am also reviewing Hulks. She-Hulk here is probably my next review. Zimnu. Another Hulk character. Or at least he's become a Hulk character. So yeah, that's that. He looks good. Those mostly bigger figures, but you get the picture. You get that picture. It's because mostly bigger figures are what I'm reviewing right now. But now I also want to show him with some Toku characters. Yes. So, who's first? Now, since he's from the same people that make Super Sentai, in fact, his giant robot Leopardon is what inspired the creation of the giant robots for Super Sentai, which eventually became Power Rangers and Megazords over here. I'm going to show him with a bunch of Power Rangers figures. All domestic, since he is a domestic figure himself. Here he is with the Power Rangers Lightning Collection Dino Thunder Blue Ranger, aka Ethan, Blue, or Abba Blue, if you watch the Sentai, Abba Ranger. Yeah, he looks good, and they are both from Hasbro, so that does make sense. So, if you want to display him with your, like, Sentai figures, he'll look perfect with Lightning Collection figures. Like, actually perfect. That's great. I love that. And he's a grown man, and this guy here is a teen, so that makes sense why he's a little taller. Yeah. Now, how about one of Hasbro's kid lines? I haven't, as I said, I haven't reviewed that She-Hulk, but I also haven't reviewed any of the Power Ranger figures you're seeing today, so that you'll know what I'm reviewing in the future, tokusatsu-wise. Here he is with the Power Rangers Dino Fury Void Knight, someone I've also had since they came out and never reviewed. He is a little bigger than Void Knight. I think when they're all posed up, it'll look better. But it's not perfect. Like maybe when Spider-Man's crouching in a more signature Spider-Man pose, and if this guy's standing straight up, maybe you could make it work, but Spider-Man is also kind of bulkier, which doesn't really work out because this guy's uniform is skin tight and this guy's is heavy armor. So it just makes this guy look even thinner by comparison. So I don't really think he's gonna work with the kids' Power Ranger line. Doesn't really matter because this and the Lightning Collection are both canceled. And then here is a much older figure. Got him from my friend's comic shop before he sold the place. It was successful. He just doesn't want to do it anymore. It is the Evil Space Aliens Rhino Blaster. This is a vintage Power Ranger villain figure from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And he looks pretty perfect with it too. You know, they're both kind of Shoette designs. So that looks good together. They mesh that way. But also size-wise, because this is a person in a big bulky suit, remember? So it makes sense that he's so much bigger and bulkier. That's perfect. So yeah, Spider-Man here is going to look great with a lot of your 6-inch Tokusatsu Power Ranger figures. Yes, I know this is technically an 8-inch figure, but because he's 8-inch, he fits well with 6-inch. If he was 6-inch figure, he'd be too small for 6 inches. Does that make sense? Yeah. So yeah, he's going to work as good with the Power Rangers Lightning Collection and some other lines as he does his own line. But remember, here on this channel, to do well in sizing, you just have to scale well with your own line, and he does. Now, let's do friggin' accessories, am I right, bro? So, Spider-Man here actually has several accessories in his little baggie here. I keep mine pretty well sorted, I think. So, you can see on the figure itself, he has one fist hand and one open hand. Well, he also has mirroring hands for that. So you can have an open hand on this side and a fist hand on this side. In fact, I do think I'll probably swap them. I put them that way for the thumbnail, but I prefer to have the fist on the right side. So I'll probably do that. He also comes with one of these web accessories that we've seen before. This one is a lot like whiter and creamier than I'm used to it looking. The thing about this is, though, he can't really hold that triangle, so you just kind of have to let it loop. So that's how that effect would work. But that makes sense, because this Spider-Man doesn't shoot webs like Peter Parker. They come from this device here, and it's just like a big rope. A big kind of web like that. So that's actually... This is a normal accessory that a lot of Spider-Man come with, but it makes the most sense for him. Oddly enough. And he also comes with some web splatter effects that you can put on like other characters or whatever. They don't stick or anything. I guess you could make them sticky. They can just make cool, you know, background pieces or something. They're neat. Yeah, they're neat little accessories that you could use. And once again, these are good with any Spider-Man figure. Or any spider character, really, that shoots webs. Or you could just have these as like spooky Halloween webs. It doesn't even matter. So yeah, that's it for accessories. I think it's enough. So all in all, what are my final thoughts on the Marvel Legends Japanese Spider-Man or Supaidaman figure from Hasbro? It's a cool figure. I overpaid for it. I pre-ordered it on Pulse, and the normal price of the figure plus the shipping was like almost $40. But then his price spiked, and then it went down. Like, it plummeted a lot, and I haven't checked it in a long time. But who knows what he's doing. His articulation was a little outdated when he came out. His legs, when he came out, should have gone out farther. He should have had butterfly joints when he came out. Once again, I don't think Marvel Legends had this torso and waist articulation yet when he came out. So that's excusable. But yeah, he's got a good sculpt, good accessories, great scaling. But that articulation needs a little work. If you really care about the articulation, there's always the figure art, but I'm pretty positive it's definitely skyrocketed in price. If I would have known about the figure art sooner, I probably would have got it before it skyrocketed, but I was late on the uptake for that. So that's it. Thank you all very much for your support. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out the cool links in the description below, Facebook, Twitter, etc. My next review will probably be that She-Hulk. Until then, Bye for now.